In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Clone Commander Wolffe. Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video, and welcome to my review of the Star Wars Vintage Collection Clone Commander Wolffe. This is the third review in the series that I've done from the most recent wave of Vintage Collection figures. I've already reviewed the K2SO figure and the Power Droid. Probably not going to bother with the Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper, as I've already done that review when I reviewed the Jedi Destiny 3 pack. But obviously that card back that came with that figure on the single card is very nice indeed as well. But we're not here to talk about Luke Skywalker. We're here to talk about Clone Commander Wolffe, and let's get straight into it and look at the card back. And while we're having a look at this card back, if you do happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like down below, because that really does help the video and the channel. But as we can see there, this is a Clone Wars card, and it has been a very, very long time since we've had a Clone Wars card. If my memory serves me correctly, we haven't had a Clone Wars card back since the Vintage Collection came back. And obviously in the previous Vintage Collection back in 2010 to 2012, we had figures such as the Anakin Skywalker and the General Kenobi figure. They were both on Clone Wars cards, and of course we had the Ahsoka figure as well. So Clone Commander Wolffe is an overdue figure in my opinion for the Clone Wars, and we're going to take a look at the figure in a minute. We're going to get him out of the packaging, but just wanted to check out the packaging. So as I said, the Clone Wars looks pretty decent there on that chase. Do like that indeed. We've got the yellow name pill, and we do have a decent image of Clone Commander Wolffe with Temuera Morrison there, or the head of Temuera Morrison, and you can obviously see his scar and his little white eye there, which is awesome. And I do like the image. Obviously it's completely a artist's impression, but that's absolutely fine, but it looks pretty good to me. Of course they've gone with the realistic version of him to match the figure there rather than the cartoon animated style. Back of the card, this figure is VC168 in the line, and there you can see the other figures from the wave and the previous wave, which was the sort of reissue repack wave. Vintage Collection logo, Disney and Hasbro at the bottom, and then half a card full of gumph, which nobody wants to know about. But we're going to take a look at the figure in a second. We're going to get him out of the packaging, and believe me, there's a lot to go through with this figure, a lot of complaints that I have about this figure, but also some very cool things as well. So let's get him out of the packaging and take a look. Okay, so here's Clone Commander Wolffe out of the packaging, and I'm just going to go right to it and basically say about the sculpt that they use for this figure. So as I'm sure a lot of you already are aware, they've used the old Black Series 3.75 inch mold or sculpt that they used for characters like this guy. I think this is Thorn, is it not? And also we've got this weird guy Doom, and essentially they just used pretty much the same body all over for Wolffe, which is a bit disappointing because obviously this mold isn't great, and there's a lot of reasons why it's not great. And if you look at that new ARC Trooper 3 pack that they're bringing out with a brand new sculpt, it's just a bit of a shame that they couldn't have given Clone Commander Wolffe the same treatment. Now if we look at Thorn here, he even has the antenna there. The antenna on the shoulder is just ridiculously big for the character, which is a bit annoying. Obviously with this figure the helmet was far too small. This one's got a removable helmet, and this is where the figure for me comes into its own. The helmet and the head sculpt of this figure are very, very good indeed. So if we forget the issues with the body, and I know a lot of people have already sort of decided to make a custom using this guy's body, the 41st Elite, and using the head of this guy and making a sort of kit bash version that's ultimately they're more happy with. But there are some decent things about this figure. So if we just ignore the fact that obviously the sculpt for the body is not the best, obviously there is lots of decent things to talk about, and the main one is the helmet. Just look at the paintwork on the helmet, very, very nice indeed. Pretty sure that this is going to have articulation here, the rangefinder. Let's have a look at that, see if that moves. It does indeed. And I just think the overall scale of the helmet is decent. Sometimes with these removable helmets, they're often far too big, the buckets. This guy, for example, far too big. But with Wolffe, it seems to me that they've done a pretty good job on that, and you can just see all of that deco on the side there. The paintwork for the Wolffe pack is absolutely awesome. You've got these symbols on his shoulders there, Really, really nicely done. Now let's get on to the head sculpt of the figure. And let's see if I've got a half decent one. I think the paintwork on him is pretty decent. You can see his dodgy eye there and the scar going right down his face. A bit of paintwork on his forehead. Very, very decent indeed. I'm very happy with that one. And I just think they've nailed the head there. That's pretty decent. And obviously this head sculpt is going to be the one that's with the ARC Troopers, I'm pretty sure. Obviously different paintworks and everything, but the face on there is exactly the same. Just take a look at the back of the figure. But yeah, that just doesn't look great, does it? Now the other thing that this figure or this mold had problems with was holding the weapons. And I do remember this guy. They're just like so loose. And yeah, you shake him about and they're just going to fall out. So you might want to keep them in their little holsters there, but we'll see if it's the same, if they've kept the same hands. But just trying to put this weapon in. Yeah, you see, look. It's not good. The trigger finger isn't really separate on the hand, so you can't get that into the sort of trigger eye there. It just doesn't fit, and it's just going to fall out. So that is highly annoying for what is a brand new vintage collection figure of clone Commander Wolffe, and he can't hold his weapons. That's just so frustrating. So maybe you're going to want him like that, as if he's about to draw them or something, or maybe just have him standing there posing like that. Maybe holding his helmet or something might be better. But again, let's just put that helmet back on. See, from there up, he looks great, except for that. Really, really good. They've done wonders with the helmet, it's got to be said. It's the right size and the detailing on it is fantastic. It's just, why use that body? Oh, it's so frustrating. But again, let's get a real close-up of that head. For a 3.75 inch figure, that is really good. It's got to be said. Very happy with that. And ultimately, he will look good with the rest of your clones and everything. It's just, as I said, it's just a shame that they've used that body. Articulation wise, it's obviously he's got the swivel hips rather than the ball jointed hips. Everything else he's got, he's got hinges at the ankles and at the knees and at the shoulders and at the elbows. He's probably even got them on his wrists. I think he has. He does indeed. Yeah, he has them on the wrists. So articulation wise, it's not too bad, but when the hands can't hold the weapons, that is pretty poor. So ultimately, when they announced this figure, I had the same opinion then when I first saw it, and for me it was just basically the saving grace of the figure is the head and the face sculpt and the photo reel that they've used to bring it alive, and of course the helmet, which we're just going to plonk on again because it does look pretty good. And there he is, look at that, clone Commander Wolffe. He's going to look very nice on display, but don't expect him to hold the pistols. That's essentially what I'm going to end with. So thank you very much for watching this review. This has been Clone Commander Wolffe from the Vintage Collection. Thanks very much for watching. Drop a like if you have enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.